Hello, everybody. I hope you're going well. Today, I will show you how to use your pieces during a chess attack. Because, attacking in chess isn't something magical. Attacking means that you have some typical patterns that you can use to actually win some pieces. So, if you want to think by your own, just pause the video and try to think. The response is actually in the answer. The answer is always in the question, and the question is the answer. So the response is in the answer. If we look at this position, we already know it has something to do with tactics. Why can we know something like that? How can we actually understand it as something like that? Notice that the bishop is there, the knight is out of the game. The reason why it is out of the game is because we have some pieces on the king's side, so on this side of the board, and we have quite a lot of enemy pieces on the other side of the board. So since we want to attack on the same size on the same side of the board as the king, the black pieces are actually out of the way and on the complete opposite side of the board. So they are not playing. With that, we can notice that the queen isn't protected. And when a piece isn't protected, it means that at some point there must be a tactic. It is like it is. It is like it is. It is what it is, if you prefer. If a piece isn't protected, there has to be some tactical shots. Now, what can we also say? We can say that the black king is actually in huge trouble because we have some white pieces which are controlling quite a lot of squares around the black king, which means that the king is in trouble. There can be something, sometimes there is something, sometimes there is nothing, but in every case, the white queen is actually controlling quite a lot of squares around the black king. With that, we can see that we have a knight which can potentially do a check. Now the question is, what is the best move? So now that we want to go for a move, we have to think about what we can do. We see that we have queen h8 check, but after king d7, the king is running on the other side of the board. We can eventually go after king d7, knight f6 check. I will play the moves. I'm sorry, I just forgot that it isn't the analysis. But we can go queen h8, king d7, knight f6, for example, but the king will just run away. Okay, what other moves do we have? We have knight g7. The king cannot go on d7 because we would be able to just take on f7 and the king will have to go away on d8. Then we have knight e6 and eventually the black king is going to get checkmated, which means that after knight g7 the king cannot go to d7, the king has to go back to f8. The question is, what can we do? What I see is that we cannot go knight e6 check because the queen would take the knight, which means that probably if we want to continue the attack after knight g7 and let's say king f8, now it's time to actually think and to be sure that there is something, because if there is nothing, then knight g7 didn't make any sense. It's time to think. Okay, let's say after knight e6 it is my move again. Okay, of course it is black's move, but now I have to think. Okay, knight e6, let's say it isn't check. What can I do? Oh, but I see that I have queen h8. It is almost checkmate. But okay, it isn't checkmate because the king can go to e7. But oh, the queen on c8 is hanging. Okay, it means that now, if the knight isn't on the way anymore, I can go queen h8 and get the queen. Okay, so where can I put my knight? Okay, if I go on h5, okay, the king can just go back, and knight g7, and we're just repeating the position. But wait, if I go knight e8, oh no, the king can just take it, and if check, king d7. Okay, knight e6 doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Why not knight f5? Now if king e8, I have queen e7 checkmate. And if he takes my knight, I have queen h8 check, which means that, I might be winning after knight f5. Okay, king g8 is losing, king e8 is losing. So let's say after knight f5, black goes queen d7. It stops queen h8, winning the queen. But the problem is that it is checkmate. So knight f5. Okay, he takes me, so now I can just go for the queen. Ooh, how lucky was I? The real question is it possible that it is so easy? The reason why it is so easy is because once there is, a logical connection between your pieces and your enemy pieces, there must be something. Once you understand that your pieces are perfectly coordinated to do something, for example, right now playing on the dark squares, there must be something. If black cannot connect all his pieces together in that position, it means that there is a problem. And if there is a problem, and the problem is that there is no connection, we already have a chance to actually use that. Because if everything is working perfectly on the other side of the board, nothing can work out on our side. If you have any more questions, just go down in the comment section. If you want to know more about calculating and, analyzing stuff, just write it down in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. See you in the future. Take care.